buy in the fall. It's also tends to be kind of a free-for-all. When's a good time to buy X, whatever your question is. But this is a great time of year to be grabbing certain things. So I just want to make sure that we're not missing the things that you want, because I cringe when y'all ask me, hey, Jenny, when's a good time to buy? And I have to say last week. So this way, hopefully, we won't have to do that, right? We will have hit those items. You will have grabbed the deals because you knew to grab them. And I won't have to have that cringe moment of telling you that you just missed your sale. So that's what we're going to go through tonight. If you've got questions that are on topic or off topic, I am A-okay with that. So whatever your questions are, leave them in the comments, and between myself or my husband, one of us will make sure that I see them, and I will try to answer you. That's how it works. So I'm always glad to have you guys join me every Monday night. So we're always here at 8:30. So if you're just joining in for the first time, or you want to get other folks to join in, it's, a pretty set in stone kind of Monday night event. And I will go ahead and tell you up front, next week, we're actually going to talk budgets and cutting bills. So this week is a when to buy things, but next week is probably a when not to buy things. And if you need that moment, then definitely plan to jump in and join us next week as well. So good evening, Christine. As we dive in, I'm going to just jump in, but if y'all have questions, I'll gladly stop and answer them. And Christina and Kara, hello as well to you guys in Northern Nevada. It's always fun to have folks join me that are definitely not in the South. So thanks for that moment, Kara. So as we go through, Kara, too, some of the things I'm going to mention may actually already be on sale for you. So when we're dealing with sales in the fall, you need to think about when fall happens for some of these deals. And for some of us, that's actually a lot later. Or my poor folks in Florida, y'all have never experienced fall in your life. I can say that because I was born and raised there. Fall does happen outside of Florida. But because some of these areas don't have a significant fall, we don't see some of the sales that we would see in other areas. So I do need you to keep that in mind, especially my Florida folks. There aren't huge patio furniture deals in your local stores in Florida because you need patio furniture all year long. And that's kind of hard, but a solution here. So if you live in an area that doesn't have a typical fall and thereby doesn't have typical fall clearance, we still see it online. So just to hit that one off the top, no matter where you are, some of you may need to get creative, and we're not going to go to local stores looking for clearance deals. We're actually going to shop the clearance deals online because you will see a lot more selection. Now, your Lowe's and your Home Depots, folks in Florida, will run some clearance to clear some area out for all the Halloween things they're going to bring in, but they're not going to run as much as the rest of our stores would. So just a special note to my folks who don't even know what fall is. All the rest of us, we do, and we do have fall sales, and they're coming. So why we want to hit that? That's the first big one, is what to expect for clearance deals. The biggest question I hear all summer is, Jenny, when can I buy a lawnmower? When can I get a grill and patio furniture? And so we're really there. Labor Day weekend is the last weekend that they'll kind of run normal sales on these items. And then as soon as Labor Day weekend is over, everything gets clearanced. You may even already find some of these items on clearance in some stores. Target clearance their patio furniture. Sometimes for them, it's after July 4th because they're bringing in back to school. We don't see that in our home improvement stores. There is no big back to school section. Their big clearance is after Labor Day because they want to bring in all the big inflatables and everything else that they do for Halloween, which is kind of crazy to me, but hey, we'll take it as a great opportunity to get a good sale on something that you still have some time to use. It's still warm outside. We can still, we grill year round, but we'll gladly take the clearance deal because you need to make room for other things. So those are the items I want you to start looking for after Labor Day, which is like 2.5 weeks away. We're almost there. But you may find some deals now. We saw a great one-day sale on Home Depot this past week on electric lawnmowers, cordless and corded. So we're going to keep seeing those pop in too. We're also going to see good one-day sales on generators and other items in these next few weeks. Generators this is kind of your best time to grab them if you can. Now, if your state has an emergency preparedness tax-free week, that's also a great time to grab them. But for most of you, that is at the beginning of hurricane season. So that's not now, your tax-free week. But we do see some sales towards the end of the summer before winter. So if you need those items, you want to maybe be on the hunt for those generators as well now. Okay, Bubbles is saying we have pumpkin spice in Florida. We have we live all our fall lives inside. I agree with you. You have all the smells and all the tastes of fall. You just don't experience the outside of fall ever in Florida. I grew up in Tallahassee, and I mean, maybe a tree changed colors once a year, but I doubt it. One tree, I know there really was no fall. Living in South Carolina, we're kind of on the cusp of it, even where we are. We really end up going north if we want to experience what true fall is. It really happens once we hit North Carolina. Though most South Carolinians will tell you that it happens here, they're really making it up as well. Okay, so we have our clearance items. Again, that is lawnmowers, grills, patio furniture in our home improvement stores. Outside of home improvement, you've got all your summer clearance. We've seen a lot of great deals on those already. I think a lot of stores, if anything, they've got a lot of backlog that didn't sell last year. They're still stuck with it. And so clothing deals, they've been kind of crazy good all summer is what it feels like. But we're getting even bigger as we get into the end of back to school season. You're going to see those clothing summer clearance deals get super low. I mean, Carter's right now, guys, for kids' clothes, $2 for brand new shirts, brand new pants. Crazy good prices. My little one, actually, we got a Carter's little catalog in the mail, and she goes, "Mama, I would love these for Christmas." And she's circling things, and I'm thinking to myself, like, I'll gladly get them right now. I'm not going to tell you if you're willing to, put them on a Christmas list. But crazy cheap kids' clothes. Carter's, Oshkosh are winning it on the clearance there. Kohl's has had some good markdowns too. JCPenney's and Macy's. So check all of those online more than in store. You're always going to have a bigger selection when you're shopping clearance online. You're pulling from the national warehouses versus the local stores. So when we really are talking clearance deals, it really isn't what your local store has. It isn't get in the car and drive to this store and this store. You just want to shop these online if you can. Definitely for kid sizes. I know obviously when we get to adult sizes, it's hard to know whether it's going to fit or not. But when we're shopping for kids, it's super easy to shop the clearance for them, and you're going to get some great prices. One more clearance deal for you, and that is your camping and your sporting equipment. That is all coming on sale as well. Some of it's already a little bit on clearance, but after Labor Day, it will be on much bigger clearance. So hunt that if you want any items, even if you're thinking about tucking things away for Christmas presents. So these don't have to be things that you're going to use this year, but they could be great gift items for just any outdoorsy person. So don't forget to shop those. REI has some crazy good clearance deals. Columbia as well online has been running some really good clearance items. So checking your big name brands, Patagonia and oh goodness, Marmot. I'm trying to think of, there's another one, and I can see their logo in my head. But these are brands that normally the frugal person in me feel like, that's okay, I'm good. But seriously, shopping their clearance deals and their end of clearance deals, even their Labor Day clearance deals, are crazy good prices. So don't just see a brand and think we're going to say, that's too expensive. Not when we're shopping clearance. So this is the best time of year to grab those items, and you get to, look super cool because you gave some big name brand items for Christmas if you tucked them away, all because you shopped the clearance sales 4 months before Christmas. That's the way to do it. Okay, so that knocks out Christmas. It does. It knocks out clearance as well, which is our first big one for the fall. We're changing seasons. Whenever we have a big season change, that typically leaves us with a big hunk of clearance. One that I had someone send me a message on today, by the way, Walmart. This is you have to go in store. Walmart clearance is never really online. But I did get messages from more than one person actually saying that Walmart has all their pool items on clearance. So if you're looking for pool toys, I actually was hoping to swing by there only to be reminded once I drove past it today that Walmart shut down. Now you guys know how often I actually go to Walmart. the Walmart doesn't exist anymore, and I was about to go there. Yeah. So we have others in town. I don't live in a town with no Walmart, but we did lose the one that I was driving right past. So if you are near a Walmart, it's at least worth a check. If you have a pool, some of it's not even pool things, it's just outdoor, like water toys, slip and slides. Folks sent me pictures of pool floats, pool toys, slip and slides. I'm hoping to get the elusive chlorine and pool supplies if I can find that on clearance too. But if y'all do swing in and you see that near Walmart, let me know. That will definitely make me find another Walmart that isn't closed to see if I can find the deals. But those types of items, this is the time of year. This is when we're going to see them. Now, one deal you're not going to find this year, but it's probably our favorite deal, is pools. And this is the time of year. This just isn't the year to grab one. So I know that doesn't help, but I just want to tell you that in the future. So end of summer, above ground pools, crazy cheap in a normal year. So last year, everyone went out and bought above ground pools. They did the same thing again this year because people just aren't wanting to travel. Hopefully, when life goes back to normal, we're going to see crazy good clearance deals again. For us, we did this 3 years ago. We bought an above ground pool at Walmart, I think. My husband and I were both like finding deals. We actually returned one because we found a better one. We literally paid like $60 for a huge above ground pool. So you can find some deals, just not this year, since everybody and their mother all stayed home. Pools was at the top of the list, but future years, this is the time of year to look for them. Carrie, great question. She's asking, what about exercise equipment? So exercise equipment, Carrie, because typically we put, my brain is thinking like stationary. So a treadmill, an elliptical machine, a stationary bike, we put those inside. We don't put those outside. And because we put them inside, they do not follow like sporting equipment clearance end of summer. Most of our best deals on those items are actually at the beginning of the year because the whole world has started a new leaf and wants to work out. So if you want to go new, you really want to look at large exercise equipment in January, maybe February. However, if you're willing to not go new, then just keeping your eye on Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist, you can actually find some great deals between now and Christmas because people wake up and they realize, you know what, I have not touched that treadmill in 6 months, and they decide that that's easy Christmas money to go ahead and sell it. So you will see a lot of large sporting equipment or exercise equipment really on those local sales pages because people are wanting some cash to spend for Christmas. So anytime between September and Christmas, sometimes the closer we get to Christmas, the cheaper they get if you're looking for something in particular. I just told my husband last night, a secret wish of mine is a rowing machine for him to start to keep an eye out for. I don't ever watch Facebook Marketplace, but maybe he can find a magical deal on a used rowing machine. It would make me very happy. Mei Hing is saying she got a huge unicorn float at Sam's on clearance for less than $8 on Friday. So check your Sam's too. Walmart's got pool equipment on clearance, but obviously Sam's is matching that. So one warning with Sam's clearance, it is never online. It is always in store, and it's really, really specific to what your store still has in stock. So, it isn't I'm going to go and check in 3 weeks kind of thing. If you're wanting pool or any kind of outdoor equipment that is on clearance, you need to be there to be able to grab those deals. So thanks for sharing that, Mei Hing. Okay, so to move on from clearance, there's a lot there this time of the year, definitely. There are a few other things I want to put on your radar. One of those is TVs. So we are, what is today, like the 16th? We are literally 8 days away from football, I think maybe 9 days away from football. It's crazy close. We're kind of excited in our house for college football. When college football starts, which is really going to be, the peak of it's going to be Labor Day weekend, but there are games the weekend before Labor Day, we will see crazy, crazy good TV deals. So there are 2 times a year that we see the lowest prices on TVs. They actually beat Black Friday a lot of times. So college football kickoff weekend and NFL Super Bowl right before the Super Bowl. So if you can take advantage of it, you're going to find a good deal on a TV, and really TVs of all sizes. So even if you're looking for something tiny, they're still going to be on sale too. You don't have to go with the football players are life size here. It doesn't have to be our goal, but there will be some crazy good deals. Watch Target, Best Buy, and Amazon as our top 3 for those. But remember, even with TV offers, that you can price match. So if I find a deal at Target on a TV that Best Buy sells, that Best Buy will price match that. I could even price match Amazon if I found a really great price. So the hard part is that a lot of them do have their own brands. I'm not going to find Insignia at Target. That's a Best Buy brand. Amazon the same way. So some of it you're not going to be able to price match because they don't sell it. But if I do, that's just a great tip all the time. It's not just a Labor Day deal, all the time, to be able to price match those deals and get a great price on those TVs. Outside of kickoff weekend, though, they go away. This is like a 1 week moment. So don't look at the ad and think, oh, I'll just check and see what's on next week. 1 week. And we won't really see TVs after that 1 week until Black Friday. So just don't blink or you might miss it. And Emily is still looking for a great deal on a Brother printer. So Emily, I might point you, let me pull it up, Emily. Staples is running a $20 off any $100 coupon right now through the 18th, which I think is, Wednesday? So let's see what we've got. Just trying to see if they have anything that's a decent price. This guy might not be a bad one, Emily. I'll give this one to my husband and stick it in chat for you. But this is a Brother all-in-one. And just, really what you're hunting for is something that's close to that $100 mark to be able to use the $20 off $100 coupon. Staples $20 off $100 coupons do exclude some printers, but not Brother. So we win. Those of us who love our Brother printers, we can always use that Staples $20 coupon. So I will have him stick the link to this in chat for you, Emily, and I'll go hunting because I can't remember the code for Staples, but I saw that this morning, so I'll go hunting and find that code for you too. It's always a 5-digit code, but we'll get that one for you in just a second, and you'll be good to go. So with Staples and their coupon codes, just to kind of warn you too, they do have a lot of exclusions. So if there are other things that you're wanting and you are thinking, I'll get, ink, I'll get, they tend to all be excluded. So don't get super, super excited, but they do work on Brother printers. That's the best that you're going to see. So we haven't seen any deals on Brother printers in over a year and a half now. I think really they got hit by closures when COVID first started, and now it's the whole no one has chips, and that has held up everything under the sun. So the fact that no one has any sort of electronics is really messing up. Everything from cars to computers to printers across the board. So I would take what you can grab on that one, and the $20 off 100 isn't bad. So another one, Jennifer says, I need bags of garden soil, heard of it on sale. So Jennifer, I want you to wait, if you can, for Labor Day. And you don't even have to wait till Labor Day weekend. This ad will start usually the Wednesday before Labor Day is when Home Depot and Lowe's will start their ads. And it's like I planted you because this was the next thing on my list, and that is flowering plants, soil, and mulch. That Labor Day weekend, they view as the last weekend that you're going to want to work outside. I don't know. It's like they think snowstorms are going to come in the next weekend, where in the South, we're going to be wearing shorts on Christmas Eve for some of you, depending on where you live. But we will have some very good outdoor yard sales for Labor Day weekend. And again, that sale actually starts the Wednesday before Labor Day weekend starts, so you don't even have to wait that long. But we usually see mulch at $2 or $2.50 a bag. We see soil between $2 and $2.50 a bag. These are the big bags at Lowe's and Home Depot. We see the garden pavers and the 1 foot by 1 foot square pavers, all on sale on those big 3-day weekends. They think that because you have Monday off from work, you're just going to work outside all day, which we're going to take it. You don't have to put them in the ground that day, but you do want to grab them and take advantage of the sale. And we won't see sales on outdoor plants or soil, mulch, all of that again until the spring. So it really is your stock up while you can weekend for Labor Day. What about stand-up freezers? So Christina, I would wait as well for that one for Labor Day weekend, only to lump it in with appliance sales. We haven't seen massive discounts on freezers really since COVID, because everybody flipped out and started, buying all the food they could. Everybody ran out of freezers for months. They're not really back on a typical sales cycle yet. We will see some discounts though over Labor Day weekend. Again, like I mentioned with the soil, it's going to start the Wednesday before, so you don't have to wait until Labor Day weekend if you don't want to. Also with any of these, so just to kind of mention for everyone, that's not just freezers, but that's appliances. Any large appliance, I always want to wait for a 3-day weekend. We see some of the best discounts when you wait for those weekends between rebates back, free delivery. They kind of pull out all the offers that they can think of. But I encourage you guys to take this to the next level. So my Kroger folks or anyone that has a grocery store that offers gift cards and maybe fuel discounts when you buy gift cards or other discounts, you need to be in there. You need to be grabbing gift cards to Lowe's or Home Depot, getting fuel discounts because you bought those gift cards, and then using those to pay for your new appliance. So double dipping wherever you can, because that could be free, completely free tanks of gas. You should take advantage of it. Kroger is offering 4 times the fuel points starting today through, I think, the 22nd of August, 21st or 22nd. So you can load that. It's always a digital coupon for my Kroger shoppers or Kroger affiliates, which is half the country because Kroger owns so many different stores. So load that digital coupon and then head in and grab gift cards to whichever home improvement store you want to. Don't panic. They will even price match each other, guys. So if you find a fridge at Lowe's that's cheaper than Home Depot and you bought Home Depot cards, Home Depot will price match the Lowe's deal. So just pick one of them. Wherever you prefer to shop, you will be able to get the best price in the end, and then you have a gift card to use on it. So always double dip your deals on these big purchases because, why not? Why not have some free tanks of gas to go along with it? And Joanna, sofas and mattresses, they fit in this too. So anytime we have a patriotic holiday, that is the best time to buy furniture. So it's not every 3-day weekend, but it is considered Labor Day, July 4th, Veterans Day. Those are our big 3, and Memorial Day, I guess, our big 4 patriotic holidays that we will always recommend furniture and mattresses for. So I don't recommend that like Black Friday and some of our other big shopping days, just patriotic holidays. So I would start hunting for those items. Mattress-wise, it kind of depends on what you're looking for. You can go super cheap with Sam's. They're even going to run sales on a Labor Day online deal as well as in stores. But you can also find deals on some of the more expensive mattresses too. So kind of, that's a really tricky one when folks ask me for specific deals on mattresses. I don't know what you're wanting. But no matter what you're looking for, you will see sales on mattresses for Labor Day weekend. And consider, again, like Lowe's and Home Depot, a lot of the furniture stores start their Labor Day sales a week early. They try to ride that holiday as far as they can. I actually just got some emails from a mattress company with their Labor Day deals already running, and we're still like 2 weeks out. So they're really early on this one. But it does give you time to hunt around. You don't need to feel like you had to make that decision in a second. Especially with a lot of these mattress companies running them for so long, I have more time to just slow down and make sure I am getting the item I want and the deal that I want for whatever it is that you're looking for. Okay. And Lily, good question. Due to football season, are there going to be sales on bartender and alcohol-related products? I feel like living in a college town, it doesn't even take football. It's just like the kids are back and things kind of go a little crazy. We will see some sales, probably, Lily, in related to like what we've gotten at Walgreens lately with the rebates that are printing, pairing that with your mobile apps or Aisle, like we've been talking about a lot lately. That's going to make for deals. A lot of the things we've seen have been seltzer. That may not be what you want for your football tailgates. Your local alcohol deals, though, they don't really change. So if you're headed to an actual liquor store, not going to see a lot there. What you will see, though, is in terms of talking mobile apps, Ibotta and some of the other apps, they do run actual offers for liquor that are good in liquor stores. So if you wanted, you may see some more of those around college football kickoff time. Most of the time, the biggest amount of deals we see are actually around the holidays. So come Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's, we see Ibotta just load up on those types of offers. If that's what you're wanting, I don't know, maybe you have a stockpile that you can stick somewhere from what you grabbed when it was a really good price one time a year. Billy, will planters go on sale? So we're going to see, we'll see some basic planters. If you're looking for like something larger that we could do a raised bed with or do some kind of container garden with, I don't know that you're going to be super excited with the sales for Labor Day. Those are really great deals that we see around Memorial Day, but not usually in the fall, because in the fall you're going to plant your mums. Folks are looking at specific plants that can make it through in colder seasons, but they're not usually looking for that fall garden type setup. So I'm not sure what size you're wanting. Smaller will be on sale, larger will not right now. And that's just because of how people are using them. And now I say that, and we have a fall garden going outside. So, it totally depends on where you live, but the sales still follow kind of a nationwide pattern on that. Even though I know folks in Florida, y'all can plant corn in December and it would probably grow just fine. The rest of us couldn't, but you're in your own little boat and they don't target you with the ads. So we have to follow what everyone else is doing, even though you might be in a completely different growing zone. Okay, and Little Turtle, so asking specifically for camping cots, lamps, etc. Yes, those are all of our clearance deals right now. So any type of outdoor sporting goods equipment, you will find some great clearance items. You might already find some, but that clearance deal will get better and better. The hard part is, do you want to wait? Obviously this is a while supplies last moment. And that's where I was recommending, even checking some of those higher end stores. So your REIs and your Patagonias and all the others that come to mind, Mountain Hardware, whatever ones you can find, you are going to find some pretty good deals on those. Will Brand Smart also price match appliances? You know what, Wendy? That is not one, you've managed to stump me, not one that I know their coupon policy for, but it, I can do a Google and see what I can get. Yes, so I've got a low price guarantee from Brand Smart USA, just kind of hunting for it, and no one beats them. So it's 110%. Oh, we don't want your exclusive. So 110% price guarantee. If you find a better price, that's really appears to be a 30-day price guarantee, Wendy. So if you are hunting, that's pretty sweet. If you're looking for appliances, could be even better. Best Buys is that they will just match it. You won't end up with 110, so that would become even better than Best Buy's price match if you wanted. Mayhing is chiming in, Lily, if you want it, that Youngling Beer is currently offering a $4 rebate for a case with up to 30 rebate, a limit of 30. That's a lot of Youngling beer. I don't know how we're going to say that. That's a lot of beer. But there you go. If you wanted it, that could be a deal that you wanted to grab. Okay. So we've hit our clearance, we've hit our TVs, that's a big one, and our outdoor stuff, your plants and planters, mulch, all of that. A few other things for the fall that you may not normally think of, airfare. So I'm not sure if you want to travel anywhere right now, but if you are, this is the time of year that everything starts to drop, and it just like breaks my heart because I keep seeing these really great prices pop in. And my kids start back to school. So, we can't go anywhere, but that's why the prices are dropping. People are more locked in for the next, usually about 5 months. So we see crazy good airfare deals from September until January. It'll be this sweet window. If you've ever wanted to go somewhere, you are probably going to be able to find a deal on it. I've seen so many pop in for Alaska in the last few weeks of it doesn't matter where you're leaving from. If you are willing to fly to Fairbanks, Alaska, which is, you're not going to want to go there after another month. It's going to start getting darker and darker and colder. But if you are willing to get there within the next month, like $120 round trip from Florida, which is crazy. So those types of deals, they could be closer as well. I've seen Philadelphia to Orlando, round trip for $70 lately. So just crazy good flight deals. Two places that I always recommend for flight deals. One of those is kayak.com. So kayak.com, it doesn't sound like a flight place, but they have an explore tool, and that's what you really want to use here. This is like a whole different Q&A, how to save on vacations, but you want to come to Kayak Explorers. I just clicked on it right there in that sidebar. And it will actually show you, based on where you are, you can put in where you're willing to go, when you want to go. So I could say, hey, I want to go in October and November, or pick your month, where you're willing to fly from, and it will spit out the lowest price of where I can go. So right now it thinks I'm in Raleigh. I'm not sure why, but I could go to Denver for $107 round trip. I could go to Miami for $68. So you can zoom out. This doesn't even have to be the US. We can go super big. Just remember, not every country is open right now, so it does depend on where you want to go there. We could go to Bogota, Colombia for $178. It's just fun to play with and fun to get some ideas. Kayak is the first place that I would point you to, and Google Flights is the second one. So if you do think, you know what, I don't have kids in school and I want to go on a trip, now is a great time to head on a vacation. And you don't have to make that last minute either, guys. So that window really is September to January, excluding, your blackout dates basically around your holidays. You're still going to see some really great prices. So even if you're looking at, I want to go after Christmas, first week in January, kids are still starting back. So you're still going to get some great deals even there. But October, early November, crazy good prices. If you're willing to go anywhere, crazy good prices. Okay, I've seen a couple more questions come in, so let me jump there. Elizabeth, a little off topic. Which is less expensive, Aldi or Walmart? Your son went to Lowe's Foods and a bag of Granny Smith apples, I can imagine, and a bag of Women's was $15. So, Aldi or Walmart, they're both, in terms of basic prices, about the same. Most Aldi folks will say it's Aldi. Most Aldi folks are die-hard Aldi. So you can go with that if you want. What I would tell you, Lowe's Foods actually has some great deals. You just have to stick with what's on sale. So when we are focusing on grocery stores, we're not going to go in and just grab what we want to grab. We're going to go in and only focus on what's on sale. Lowe's Foods had, peaches, fresh South Carolina peaches in our area for $1.49 a pound, which is beating the price of most of the other grocery stores around. So it's just, hit and miss on what you're looking for. Another one with Lowe's Foods in particular, since you mentioned Lowe's Foods, is they do double coupons. And there aren't a lot of stores that double coupons, but they do 99 cents or less every day of the week. So if I've got a 75-cent coupon, it's worth $1.50, where Walmart would take it and Aldi wouldn't. So, you're bumping further and further down. So in terms of produce, a lot of folks are going to tell you Aldi. I've never been a big Aldi produce fan. I don't feel like it lasts very long, so we don't usually grab any produce there. But either store is probably going to be about the same. I'm buying things that I need that are not on sale, you're still going to be getting the best price that you could. It's the things that are on sale that I'm not getting the best price at Aldi or Walmart. And I know that makes my Aldi folks get a little hot and bothered, but you're just going to have to trust me on that one. Lily, do RVs go on sale in the fall since less people are traveling? Actually, the bigger sales for RVs are typically in the spring. They're hoping to put them on sale so that you will grab them. But if you're willing to go used, which I would hope that you are, you actually will find some really good used RV deals at the end of the summer. It's folks that wake up and realize, you know what, we didn't use this summer, and it's time to get rid of it. So you can, and I would encourage you to go that route. We have an RV that is older than all of our children, I'm pretty sure, and it's great. We've done some, renovation work and updating to it, but we got it at a great price, and it's probably worth what we paid for it 4 or 5 years ago still. So they really don't lose their value if you take care of them. So that's where I would encourage you to go. And you will find some good deals towards the end of fall, going direct to, direct sale there, not necessarily from the big RV sale sites, but looking on Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist and online RV sale sites, because people will post their RVs online specifically on RV sale sites, but not necessarily buying from the dealers. They don't necessarily run big sales. I mean, maybe, but it's kind of like a car sale. It's not a huge discount for you. And this year is just like last year, and they are not hurting. So RV dealerships in general, they saw gross revenue increases of over 300% last year. That's how big COVID was for them. They're not hurting, and they're not really in a hurry to sell those items. So that's why I'm saying go direct consumer to consumer on that purchase, and you're going to get some great prices. And do these travel sites take into account luggage fares? So Lily, no. A lot of times when I'm hunting, I still have Kayak up just to show you Kayak. When I'm hunting on these sites, a lot of times when you click through the fare, so let's click through the Bogota fare, and I say, check prices, it's going to tell me the lowest fare, and that lowest fare is usually with no bags. So it tells you that right here, and you may not even be able to see this. It's still processing them all. So hold on, and it'll kind of come in with that 178, hopefully, that it just showed us. But usually these little buttons right above the price, maybe I can zoom in and even show you, is telling you what it's saying. So like for this particular one, it's 1 carry-on, or this one is 0 bags, 0 carry-on, and you can add them in. But you do go in kind of knowing what your plan is. Now, humorous, these are Spirit. I don't know that I would fly Spirit. If you guys have been watching the news, there have been more cancellations than actual flights with people in them. But maybe you could find, you could also tell it to nix certain airlines if you don't want to trust them right now. Maybe Spirit will get their act back together, but they've not been having a very good month, for sure, for that whole brand. But hopefully that helps. It does show you the luggage on Kayak in particular, if that's what you're hunting for. And Jess O'Mai, I like your name. I do exactly what you're saying. So she says, I use Aldi as my baseline price for comparing sale prices. For example, Barilla pasta sauce last week was a good sale. Still over $1 though. Aldi pasta sauce is 89 cents. I agree with you. So it's up to you in terms of what you're wanting to grab, and you kind of learn that go-to price. Also make sure that you're comparing apples to apples. Aldi's sizes on a lot of items are not the same size as the sizes sold in the grocery store. So make sure that when you are comparing that you're taking it down to the ounce on that. But yes, it's all about, the brands that you're happy with and the prices, setting that price mark. So Aldi, for example, canned goods are 50 cents on average for most of their canned veggies. So when Publix is running sales, Lowe's Foods, etc. on canned goods, and I know that I can beat that price, then that's the time to grab it in the grocery store. Okay. Okay. What's the best tool to plan a road trip from Boston around the Northeast? And do I have a go-to hotel? Oh goodness, I have a hard time saying that. Hotel website for booking in multiple cities. So Wendy, honestly, planning road trips in general, for me, it really just starts with trying to figure out what I want to see and where I want to go. So it's not necessarily like, ideal, is there a road trip planning site? It's really me just hunting and seeing what sounds fun. So maybe you just do a lot of Googling and putting in, the name of a city or the name of a state and saying like top things to do in, and getting that list. Whether that you do it by city or by state, you're going to find some great lists. A lot of chambers of commerce have done this, and Southern Savers has lots of different lists of 25 free things to do in this city or that city. So using some of those to get some ideas. And a lot of times it's planning your trip around key places that you want to go. So for us, when we tend to go on trips, that's national parks or state parks. It's, maybe a big place that we want to see. So one big trip that we did quite a number of years ago was a trip to Colonial Williamsburg and Washington, D.C. And then you've got so much to see that it's sitting down and saying, okay, obviously we're only here for 4 days. What are our top things to see? And I would encourage you to do that with your spouse. And you each have your list, and you aim to knock off those top items on your list as you plan your trip around. Hotel-wise, I would encourage you to look at Hotwire or Priceline for like lowest price. If you don't care where you are, both of those sites are great for getting the lowest price in good hotels. But I just mean like you don't necessarily care brand-wise. The other option, though, is to go brand loyalty. And so when it comes to hotels, that's usually where I end up. We have been Marriott loyal for so long that they just changed all their levels, but we are lifetime titanium status, which sounds super fun. It gives us some pretty fun perks, but we have a ton of Marriott points that I can use for some free hotels, or we can use a free hotel and then stay the next night in a Marriott, and literally we will earn almost all the points we just used on the free hotel back, because when you have been loyal for so long, you earn points at a much higher rate. We also are getting free internet and free breakfast everywhere we stay. So, just kind of sometimes loyalty can pay off. If you don't care about the loyalty part, though, Hotwire and Priceline are probably the two best for finding the lowest hotel fares that you can. And Billy is chiming in and saying she likes Trivago for hotels. And VRBO even has pay later and other options. So, and that is another one for us, Billy, as well. A lot of times, because we are a family of 7, we do end up in a VRBO or an Airbnb as just a cheaper place than a local hotel. That same trip that I just mentioned as well, when we did Colonial Williamsburg and Washington, D.C., the cheapest hotel I could find in Washington, D.C. was $500 a night, and that was in some pretty seedy areas. But we got a VRBO that was, I think, maybe $275 for the night, and we split that with another family. So we came out like bandits compared to what we would have done if we'd gone to a hotel. So don't always think it needs to be traditional. You really can go non-traditional with Airbnb and VRBO and come out ahead in some of these big cities if you've got a lot of options. And Lily, you're right. So Lily also is giving you another tip of like finding the sweet spot, not necessarily staying in those big major cities, but staying in that smaller city that's nearby, that's still a safe area. You can end up finding some great places and cheaper hotels just because you kind of stayed a little bit outside of that, my Atlanta folks, and you're not in the perimeter or you're not in the belt line. You're staying a little bit further out. Maybe you've still got, if you're in DC or New York, you've still got the subway that's going to take you straight in. But I don't have to pay for that Manhattan price if I can stay off island and have a much cheaper option. So I would encourage you to do that too as you're looking around. Okay. And Mayra, to go back on grocery side, what about Lidl? Lidl to me is almost identical to Aldi. Now, my Aldi folks may chime in and say no. Lidl has a lot, in a sense, a larger selection. So the store is actually bigger. Maybe you haven't been in one. There is a little bit more selection in a Lidl than in an Aldi. The prices are a little higher on some items, and some of those items are more name brand in a sense than Aldi sells. Lidl has a huge selection of wine that they rave about, a large cheese section that Aldi that's not who Aldi is catering to, so it isn't in their stores. But the sales in Lidl, very similar. That sale price, very similar to that Aldi price. So if you found that you prefer one over the other, you're not going to lose money by being in one versus the other. Okay. Oh, you guys are so funny. I am not a celebrity, but I am glad to have your comment, Jess, so thanks for sharing it. Now, I'm going to keep going because I'm running out of time, and I did have some other things on my list to share with you guys, but these have been some great questions, and I don't know if you know this, but I am all about planning vacations, so I could talk vacations every Monday night, and it would probably be good for my soul because we aren't getting a lot of vacations now that school's starting back, and I could just use to plan yours. How's that? We can just stay on this topic. So a few other things that you may not realize. This one's a little more random, but if you know somebody that is planning wedding items, this is our wedding time. This is the best time of year to grab those deals. The next few months are the low season for weddings. Most people end up getting married closer to Christmas and in the spring and early summer. So if you're wanting to have a frugal wedding, or you want to go ahead and grab some items now and tuck them away, for my long engagement folks, this is a great time to do that. It's also the time of the year when we normally see bridal gowns and bridesmaids dresses on clearance and markdown. So it may not be one that you're expecting for the fall, but it does fit in. So I don't know. I just tucked that one away. Like if you have 5 girls and you need some tips, you can use it in the future. It will always be this time of the year. And we've hit a lot of them. There are some other things that normally fit in this time of the year that do not fit in. So just to hit those, if you were to go Googling, or even I pulled up an old list of what I had posted in 2019 of 10 things to get in the fall before we went live. Cars is usually on that list. This is also the best time of year to usually buy a house. Those are not 2 things that I would put on the list right now. The housing market is still on fire, so it's a great time to sell your house, but you run the risk in buying that the housing market will not stay on fire. So buying right now potentially puts you in an upside down place, which you're not going to want to be in. If you have never experienced that, go find some people that bought houses in 2007 and 2008 because they were very quickly significantly underwater. Now, no one can guess when that will happen. It's definitely a when though at this point and not an if. It is a great time to sell your house. I would just be a little hesitant on the leaping out to buy at this point because of where the market's going to go when these prices do kind of bubble out. So cars is the other one. Right now we're having a lot of shortages on new cars. Again, chip related and just slow on being assembled in assembly lines, no matter where that is. We're even having shipping delays. So all of this, whether your car is made in the US or made in China, they're all delayed. That is not helping prices of cars. So used car prices are sky high right now, but new car prices are also sky high because of shortage. So really 2021 is the year to just say, we're gonna make the car we have last. But normally this is a great time of the year to buy a car, preferably last year's model, because the new models come out at the end, sometimes the beginning of September for next year. So we're starting to see those 2022s hit the lot in theory. That makes for a great time to grab a 2021, not a 2022. We're always going to get a best price on the one they want to get rid of, not the one that just arrived yesterday. And along those lines is phones. I'm always looking for something to hold up. And I told my husband one of the things on my list was a phone, and he's quite proud of this. He went and found this little guy. Anybody still have this little guy? I don't even know what version of iPhone this is. It's all rounded and weighs more than this huge guy does. But this is the best time of year to grab new phones. So Apple will be releasing the new iPhone 13 here. All the rumors point to about a week after Labor Day. The iPhone 13 is going to come out. Samsung just came out with their new model. I don't know how you feel about the folding models, but the point is, you don't need to get a 13. It's a great time to get a 12, or a great time to get the Samsung Galaxy 21, or whatever the last model was. Still a great phone model. It's 6 months old, and you will have a great phone. I probably wouldn't go this old. This is probably 3G would be my guess, but 1 model back, 2 models back, you're going to be A-okay, and you're going to get great prices. So always waiting for those new models to launch makes for those old models really to become the ones that's what your phone companies now, boom, the 12s are now what we're offering for free. We weren't offering them for free 2 weeks ago, but we are now, because now there's a 13 out. So that's what you want to hold off for if you can. Phones are always a September, early October purchase for some of the best prices. If you decide to hold off, you're still not ready to bite the bullet on those yet, Black Friday. We do see some really good prices on Black Friday, and those tend to be on the brand new models. So I don't want you to go diving into a brand new model the day it's released. I mean, unless you drive over your phone and it literally can't hold on, I think you can make it between September and Black Friday. So most of us can. If you're wanting that 13, that brand new phone, we usually see some really great gift card deals on those brand new models come Black Friday. You just gotta wait, like 2 months. You can handle that. If you're cool with the most recent old model, then go ahead and grab that the beginning, middle of September. As soon as those new phones launch, you're gonna still get some great prices on those older phones. So hold out if you can. And I'm glad, Pat, that was on your list. Hopefully that helps you. Just hold out for a couple more weeks, get that older model, and you're going to have some great ones. Wendy, great question. Will Sam's do their one-day sale this year? That has always had some great sales. So far what we've seen from Sam's is they're not going back to their one-day sale model. They're sticking with their new 1-week sale model with deals that are online and in store. I don't know what we'll see. The best one-day sale that they always run is Veterans Day weekend. Whether or not we're going to be back to that this year, based on what numbers look like right now, no, we won't be back to it this year. But if we were, that Veterans Day weekend is the weekend that you want to watch for that. They did run a 1-week sale that week last year. It did not have phones included because they can only do phones in store. So hopefully phones will at least come back to be in the 1-week sale in store, and we will see some great sales. That's our goal. And Michelle, what are the best sites to buy college textbooks? That's a very good question. You've got a lot of great sites that you can purchase from or rent from. Even Amazon is in the rental business now. So Chegg is a big one that a lot of folks recommend. Honestly, I tend to use Google search for textbooks. And I don't have college kids, but I have kids that are in college classes. So I've become a pro at this as well. So instead of going specifically to a website to search for a textbook, searching Google for that textbook and allowing Google to pull in the results, it's probably not orthodox here, but my kiddos, they need a textbook for AP statistics this year. I literally found it as a PDF online. So I'm looking at my kids, I'm like, I can rent that for you for $70 as the cheapest price, or you can use this on your computer. Here is a PDF of the textbook. So let Google be your friend. I'm not going to guarantee you that you will be able to find PDFs of your textbooks. I'm not even going to name that one because I don't want it to go away. But you will be surprised what Google will return. They also have some good sites that have just used books where kids can actually post them and sell them to you. So it gives you the option of not having to use that third party where you're renting, you sell back to them. They just keep renting that same old textbook, but you can actually buy from kids and then you could resell on those sites too. And Google's going to end up pulling those in, or any search engine for that matter. But because Google has merchant results at the top, that's usually what you want to look for. And you are going to find some good prices in there for those textbooks. With rentals, for anyone that's in my boat with kids that are in dual enrollment or AP classes that need those college textbooks, be very careful because most college rental or most textbook rental sites are literally for college classes and they expect that rental to be back in December. But your kids aren't going to be done with that class in December. It's a dual enrollment class, maybe that they're taking all year long, or an AP class that they're going to need that book until May. That means you're renting it twice. You're going to rent it until December, and then you're going to have to re-rent it. You don't actually return it. You just extend your rental, but now you've paid that price twice, and all of a sudden the idea of renting just did not become a deal. So watch for that. It's very rare to find a rental that allows you to do the whole school year. So you need to look at your end date and double your price for most of those textbooks, which is just sad. So big warning if you've not been on the hunt for them. Oh, and Barbara, give kind of a shout out for Lidl. She said hers in Fayetteville, North Carolina has had milk for $1.15 a gallon all summer. And that is the best price. So Barbara, in general, and for anybody, Lidl and Aldi, that's their goal. Their goal is to undercut the national price of milk and eggs because they know that those two products are enough to keep somebody loyal. That if I learn that the price of milk and the price of eggs is significantly cheaper in those two stores, I will always come back meaning to just grab those two things, but I'll end up shopping while I'm there. And so that is a game that they've played for years. and you will usually find the best price for milk and eggs, hands down, because they're losing money on those two items in Lidl and Aldi all the time. So I personally do not make a separate trip just for milk, but it is tempting. I just usually have a bunch of kids in the car, and I don't know, it's not worth my sanity for the 75 cents when I can get it still close to $2 in other stores. Okay. Oh, and Jody is chiming in, Michelle, too, for you and saying she uses textbookrush.com as one of hers. Another one is eBay, Chegg, Amazon, so kind of all of those, and she rents more than buying. We've done a little bit of both. We've rented, we've bought, we've resold. So, I'm totally up for whatever I find is the cheapest option. I would say that if your kids are in college or you're in college and there are textbooks that are in your major, there is the possibility that you're going to end up wanting to keep them. And I guess it depends on your major. For me, you may not know it, but I'm a registered nurse. I ended up keeping a lot of my nursing textbooks because they were great and because I had to pass the NCLEX at the end of my college career. So knowing that I needed to do all that studying meant that I wanted to hold on to all those books so that I could refresh myself on all those topics. So it kind of depends on what your major is as to whether you do want to consider renting versus buying and whether you think you're going to want to hold on to those books. Little Turtle, what about generators? Or are there any deals? So generators, this is a decent time of the year to grab a generator. Sometimes we see great sales at the beginning of hurricane season, so kind of missed that mark. But this is the other time of year that we tend to see sales. Before winter comes, we do see some good markdown prices on generators. I would also, if you're really wanting a generator, I would keep tabs on Home Depot. So every day, and I actually have, I did have Home Depot pulled up. I closed it to open up Staples. So let me pull it back up. So every day, Home Depot runs a one-day sale, and I would keep tabs on that one-day sale. So the easiest way to find this, bookmark it once you find it. But if you come to their site, hover over specials and offers right here, and then special buy of the day is over on the far left. Every day, this is different. Every day they're only good for that day, and they do regularly run generators. And I say regularly, it's usually like once a month for one day, but they are some very good deals. So I would watch Home Depot's one-day sales. You will find generators at Harbor Freight and some of the other low-price tool places as well, but we will see them on sale. So if you're wanting that Honda or that name brand for a generator, it's still a good time to keep an eye out for sales. Not guaranteeing that you'll see anything, but it's a good time of the year to keep an eye out for sales and hope that one will pop in for you. Okay. And so Lynn, her daughter has taken a lot of dual enrollment classes in high school, and from what I've read, she'll still be considered a freshman when entering college and would be required to stay on campus and buy a meal plan. So Lynn, it kind of depends on the college. We're running into this a lot as we have started touring colleges and asking a lot of questions. So my kiddos will have 2 years of college done by the time they hit a college campus. Some of them even more because they keep getting 5s on AP exams, which is magical. We'll take it, but some of that means that class then became worth 8 credits instead of 4. So who knows what that's going to look like for them. Depending on the college, this is literally like a door slamming question when we come in for a tour. And that is, hey, we have dual enrollment and AP credit. How does that apply? So one of them, we're in the South, one of them that we toured was Furman. And Furman's got a gorgeous campus. They even have a program that you can get a full ride for free. But their answer was, we are a 4-year university. And that was the first statement. Followed by, whatever you come in with, we will let it count towards a gen ed requirement, a general education requirement. However, it cannot count towards graduation. So in other words, you would count it as if my kids had taken all these classes, but you're still going to make them stay there for 4 years. And I get that in a sense, but not from a standpoint of the actual cost of your college is $60,000 a year. Like, no, thank you. We have 2 years done. If my kids want to end up getting a double major, they want to use those credits towards having some extra time there, towards some scholarships they get, great. But I am not going to pay out of pocket to retake 2 years that you are coming in with. So Not every university is going to treat it that way, and that needs to be almost the first question that they ask university. Don't even take the tour, email the admissions office, call the admissions office and ask, how do you handle dual enrollment and AP credit? Does it apply towards graduation, or does it just apply towards basic requirements, but not applying towards actual class status and graduation credits? And that's the big way to word it, and they're going to tell you really quick what their take is. Obviously, you need to consider one other thing, and I've tried to give my girls this talk because one of them fell in love with Furman, and that is that these colleges are selling a product, and you are hopefully buying that product. And so this is your moment to kind of teach your kids that too, in the sense of this product doesn't really fit for you, and you need to start to look at that, the pegs and the holes. And I want to get a good deal. I want to get a great college education, but I also want to get a good deal on it. And so if you aren't liking the product that they're selling, there are other products to grab. And so that was a big talk that we had on the way home from Furman. No, you aren't a really great fit. You have a ton of college credit coming in, and they are a 4-year university. So we're going to let them keep their quote, and they can have all the kids that want to hang out there for all 4 years. It just won't necessarily be ours. And yes, and Lily, you're right. So it depends on their dual enrollment and their college major. Some colleges are not going to let those credits count towards major credits, but they will still let them count towards that undergrad requirement. So maybe you're still knocking out that freshman or that sophomore year. You're not, one example that my kids do like, which is Covenant College up in Chattanooga. Kiddo just took AP Bio and got a 5 on AP Bio, which is great. Some colleges give you 8 credit hours for that. Some give you 4, totally depends on where you end up. But in that particular university, if you're a biology major, you're not allowed to count AP Bio towards your major level bio. They're still going to want you to take their biology class. So there are moments where you are going to run into that, and I kind of get that. So, if that's your major, they want to know that you do have a strong background in it. And that we're talking about 1 or 2 classes there, but we're not talking about eradicating 2 years worth of credits either. So it's going to be just dependent on the university, and each one is different. Google your university's AP credit policy. That's going to give you a lot of info. I know we're totally off topic, but it's one that I'm living in right now, so I'm glad to help you with it too, Lily. But every college has a different policy, especially with those AP tests and what they give for each test and each test score. Just like the AP Bio, Clemson, for example, gives 8 credit hours for a 5 on an AP Bio versus Covenant that's going to give 4 for that same test for that same 5. The same for AP Spanish. You get a 5 on AP Spanish. That's worth 16 credit hours in some colleges. It's worth 4 in others. So, could be another thing that helps your kiddo decide where they want to go, depending on what they've taken or what they have. Okay, so since we're way off topic, I actually have gone through my whole list of what to grab in the fall. It was a pretty long list to recap super fast. We've got a lot of great clearance deals that are running starting now, but definitely after Labor Day. So your patios, grills, lawn mowers, anything outdoor sporting equipment, summer clothes. These are the perfect time to grab those items. TVs, wait for Labor Day weekend. Magic Bubble around Labor Day weekend because it's a college football kickoff. We're also going to see phones and big appliances, furniture, mattresses, all of that for Labor Day weekend. So you're 2 weeks away, but most of those stores are going to start their ads into sometimes the whole week before Labor Day. So for some of you, you're only like a week and a half away. You're much closer than you feel like for getting those deals. So just to recap, that's kind of the highlights of everything that we grabbed or talked about grabbing tonight. So next week for our Q&A, we're going to talk budgets and cutting bills. I know here we talked about buying a lot of things this time, but where can we cut? Where can we get our budget back on track? How can we get more money into savings? That's a big question that I get. So we're going to try to hit all of that next Monday night at 8:30. So hopefully you can join in. And I will be back on tomorrow at 11 for our top drugstore deal. So if you cannot catch tomorrow live, it's always recorded. You can catch it after the fact, but there are some pretty fun deals in Walgreens and in CVS this week. So Make sure you don't miss any of the top deals to grab there either. So thanks for joining me tonight, guys. Hopefully I helped you either not grab something right now or get an idea of when the window is going to come for the things you need. And I hope to get to talk to you again soon. So join in tomorrow or next Monday. So thanks again for joining in, and I'll talk to you again later.